High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime, the State Line's favorite location for all things high school basketball. I'm Reagan Holgate.
And I'm Scott Leber. We're serving up another half hour of nothing but hoops. Tonight we're going to be joined by Hononegah girls coach Jason Brunke to discuss his undefeated NIC-10 champions. We'll
also feature South Beloit standout sophomore Ross Robertson in our Spotlight segment, and we'll look ahead to girls tournament action.
The regular season is rapidly winding down for the boys, but conference championships are still up for grabs. We're going to get to the NIC-10 action in a bit, but we're going to start off with Big Northern play. Lutheran and Rockford Christian have their big rematch at Lutheran coming up next Tuesday.
That'll be a good one. They both began tonight still undefeated in conference play. Lutheran at 7-0, Rockford Christian at 6-0.
Let's start with Lutheran. The Crusaders were home tonight to face Winnebago. Walt Hill Jr. here doing Walt Hill Jr. things, taking it right to the basket and finishing. Marquise Haynes also doing Walt Hill Jr. things as he goes to the basket and finishes. Ray Marici making a good look inside to Braylon Garrigan for that bucket. Then it's Marici cleaning the glass for the tip in there. Hill's going to send in a three ball for the Satyrs and another one here. That one was at the first quarter buzzer. Great move coming up by the freshman. Miles Smith one-hands it up and in. Garrigan will then show off his arsenal again. Hits the baseline jumper. Vontez Dentho comes right back with a jumper of his own. And then Blake Brogy fires from Brogy land. Good. The Crusaders won 61-53. That is their 40th straight Big Northern Conference win.
Rockford Christian was also at home tonight, hosting a dangerous Dixon team. Dixon came into the game in third place in the conference. The Dukes and Austin Hicks got things rolling early. Wide open three-pointer there for the junior. And, well, same goes for Kavion Cummings on the other end for the Royal Lions. He sinks one behind the arc to get RC on the board. Big man Darius Harrington working in the paint here, and he banks the shot in. And hey, here he comes again. This time, quick step-up jumper. RC struggled to defend him. He finished with 21. But never count out Christian Cummings. Look at those moves, and somehow gets the bucket and one. RC keeping things fast. Kavion Cummings goes cross-court to Jaden Williams, and he knocks down the three. Here comes Christian Cummings once again after a takeaway, and he finishes it off with two. He had 25 points on the night. Rockford Christian takes this one over Dixon 71-59. They move to 27-1 on the season. There was another great Big Northern matchup tonight in Byron.
Taylor Castro joins us with the story of that one. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, guys. The Stillman Valley Cardinals made the short trip to Byron for this rivalry matchup. Both teams had 17 wins on their records. The stands were packed for both teams, and they were treated to an electric rendition of the national anthem. It was also senior night for the Tigers. Senior Nick Kessler had a hot start from three. Here he'll be in the corner, and swish. This time he pulls up from the top of the arc, nothing but net. The crowd loves it. Kessler had 20 points in the first half. For the Cardinals, big man Alex Rahn came up huge in the paint. They just kept feeding him the ball. Byron had a 30-12 lead at halftime, but Stillman Valley's answers. Owen Dunzip for three. It's good. End of the third quarter now. Time running down. Shot doesn't fall, but Karsten Busser gets the rebound and 2 more points for the Tigers at the buzzer. 4 minutes left in the fourth, and Drake Stewart hits one from the corner. Cardinals only down by 7 now. Stillman Valley goes back to working in the post. Logan McKee. He'll grab the bucket there, but Byron never let up. Kessler drives the basket, scores, and gets the and one. That pretty much sealed it for the Tigers. Byron beats Stillman Valley 51-38. Byron is now finished with conference play for this season. Stillman Valley still has 2 conference games remaining at Genoa Kingston and Rockford Christian. Guys.
All right, thanks, Taylor. Let's check out one more Big Northern Conference score. Rock Falls defeated Genoa Kingston 86-59.
So here's a look now at the Big Northern Conference race. It is still Lutheran by a nose over Rockford Christian, 8-0 to 7-0. Byron is in third place at 6-3. Dixon is next at 5-3, and Winnebago is 4-4.
We'll get to the NIC-10 boys highlights in a bit, and later our spotlight story on South Beloit's Ross Robertson.
But up next, we're going to visit with Jason Brunke. His Hononegah Lady Indians are NIC-10 champions once again. You're watching Overtime.
The NIC-10 girls race is over, and for the third straight season, it's the Hononegah Lady Indians who have finished on top.
And this is the second straight season they have gone undefeated in the conference, winning all 18 of their games. I sat down with head coach Jason Brunke earlier this week to learn more about what makes this group of girls so successful. Jason, once again, your girls are NIC-10 champions, and all your teams have been wonderful here, and with the coaches preceding you. Is there anything unique or a little bit different about this year's group of team?
I'd say probably the thing that stands out most about this team is probably one of the best defensive teams I can remember us having in a long time. And obviously that's not to take anything away from what we do offensively or what they're capable of offensively, but they're just extremely good and efficient about getting to where they need to be on the floor, and they move very well as a unit. And on top of that, they're just highly competitive, you know, and they've kind of been larger than life. We're not a very big team physically, but they compete with the biggest ones, and they compete with the best ones. And that's just been probably the thing that stands out most. They just continue to surprise me in that regard.
Once again, unfortunately, Emma Clark, an outstanding player for the second straight year, is dealing with an injury issue. What's her probability of playing again this season?
Well, we got some unfortunate news a couple days ago that she'll be out. I think they at least said through the end of February. So obviously we'd have to have a pretty good run in us before we'd even think about her coming back. But I think they didn't like kind of the reaction to some of the things that they saw in the stress fracture, and it's super unfortunate. I really feel for her and not being able to, obviously missing out on last year and the start that she had this year, where we all kind of saw again what we were missing, and it's super unfortunate. I feel for her, and I hope that we can continue to have a good run just so she can be a part of that.
I'm going to throw out 4 names at you of some of your top players and give just a real brief synopsis of what each one brings to the team. One is Cameron Abney.
Cameron Abney is our defensive leader. Again, I don't know if a lot of people can kind of see just how incredibly active she is at the top of our defense. And she's taken some serious leaps this year in that regard, as far as just the consistent energy that she provides and her ability to get her hands on all kinds of passes and things like that, and really just kind of sets the tone for everybody behind her.
How about Jordan Johnston?
Jordan Johnston is she is the jack of all trades for us. She's the one that, if you look at the stats of this team, none of her stats are really going to jump off the page, but she is an absolute key to us winning. She's been a player here with the varsity team for 3 straight years now, and we're starting to see the fruits of all of that. She competes like crazy defensively. She's one of our best communicators consistently, and she's a player that obviously is starting to shoot the ball pretty well too, offensively, and just really finding her niche. But she's kind of that glue player that really helps teams be successful.
Allison Needfeld.
Allison Needfeld, absolute ball of energy. She's extremely active. And again, she's another player that, like Jordan, has been up here doing this for 3 years now with us. And we're starting to see the consistency develop with her. And that's the biggest thing, the strides that she's taken this year. She has the ability to catch fire offensively and knock down some shots. Extremely quick and athletic. And she really uses that to her advantage, running the floor in transition on offense, and obviously staying extremely active defensively.
Bree Carter.
Bree Carter just gives us a totally different dynamic. She's a true team player. We asked her to run inside for us this year and kind of battle with the bigs, and without question, she took that role on, and she's really owned it. And what that allows us to do, of course, is create some mismatches offensively. And she also is just tenacious rebounding and a tenacious defender as well. And again, the way she runs the floor puts all kinds of pressure on the heart of the defense, which kind of opens those lanes on the outside. So she's just been absolutely outstanding and really taken over that vocal leadership role that was vacated by Haley Warren last year. So she really kind of took over that heart and soul of keeping us energized and keeping us talking and things like that.
It was a great regular season for Hononegah. Now they turn the page to the postseason. Hononegah will compete in the East Regional. That starts tomorrow with East playing Auburn. Hononegah will get the winner of that game Monday night. The other semifinal will have Hampshire and Harlem going at it, and the championship game will be played Thursday.
A couple more NIC 10 teams will play in the 4A Huntley Regional. The first semifinal on Tuesday will be Huntley against DeKalb. The second semifinal will be Guilford against Jefferson. The championship game will be Thursday night.
In Class 3A, the Sycamore Regional starts tomorrow. Belvedere will play at Freeport. The winner of that game gets #1 seed Sycamore on Tuesday. The other semifinal Tuesday is Canelan playing Rochelle. The championship game will be played Thursday.
At the 3A Burlington Central Regional, we find a couple more NIC 10 teams. Boylan and Belvedere North will play in one semifinal game Tuesday. The other semifinal will have Burlington Central playing Plano.
Class 2A regional action will happen at Byron. That starts tomorrow with 2 games, Oregon against Rockford Christian and North Boone against Lutheran. Tuesday, Byron will play the winner of the Oregon-Rockford Christian game. Winnebago will play the winner of the North Boone Lutheran game. And girls 1A regional action will play out at Pearl City, Amboy, Pecatonica, and Galena. We're back to the highlights next with NIC 10 boys games.
We have all 5 matchups, including Guilford trying to hang on to first place again at Belvedere North. Stay with us. The Guilford Vikings have been holding down first place in the NIC 10 since the start of conference play. They passed another big test Wednesday night when they held off Boylan. Yeah, the Vikings won there by 3 points to maintain a 1-game lead over Auburn. Tonight, they travel to Belvedere North. Start of the second half, Guilford holding on to a 2-point lead, and Malachi Johnson gets his feet behind the arc and drills it. Guilford right back with it. Wanye Sneed down the lane, rumbles and finds Marquez Jordan all alone. He adds to the Vikes' lead. Vikings with all the momentum. Connor Doyle finds Makai Dobie down the lane. He drops in the layup. Blue Thunder starting to feel this game slipping away. Nate Binkley fights up the middle, flips to Logan Keller, who sinks the 3. But this was Guilford's half. Connor Doyle finds a gap, hits the windmill for 2. And then early in the 4th, Malachi Johnson gets the pass, goes down the middle and would not be denied. The Vikings were rolling. The Vikings won this one 75-61. It's their 21st win of the season. East began tonight 2 games behind Guilford. The E-Rabs hosted Harlem. Huskies in transition here. Quick dump to Thomas and Bergia, and he'll get 2 and the foul. E-Rabs now looking down court, and they've got Matthew Horde, who finishes it off with a slam. Okay, sir. Yeah, raise it up. This is just too fun now. Carl Harris asking for it. With the fake and another dunk. East was rolling, folks. They had a 31-point lead going into the half. Quick flick outside to Sterling Horde, and he tallies 3 more. Now they see JT Samuels wide open for 3. We've seen this one a time or 2. Another one falls from JT land. E-Rabs keeping things fast. Matthew Horde gets up for another, but he'll have to settle for a layup this time. East rolls on to win this one 83-32.
All right, E-Rabs looking good. Boylan also started tonight 2 games behind Guilford. The Titans hosted Freeport. Daryl Johnson getting the steal for the Titans. He cannot finish, but Johnny Carestis in the right spot at the right time. Boylan looking for more. Ryan Stark spots Steven Ezaflor cutting down the lane. Pretty play there. Philip Dixon next in the lane. Gets a little teardrop to fall. Titans were on a major roll in the second quarter. Stark from the arc. Count them. Now watch this. Ezaflor grabs the offensive rebound. He's going to make the reverse over the head flip right to Carestis for the layup. Wow. Big Jalen Dewey going to grab an offensive board. He'll get the putback for the Pretzels. But the Titans were not done. Dixon flips it up and in. Mark Harris next. He'll get a lay in. And I think Brett McAllister was loving what he was seeing tonight. I was impressed. Titans led 48-25 at the halftime, and they rolled to the win 93-64.
Hononegah and Belvedere are trying to finish the regular season strong. They played at Belvedere. Off the opening tip, Indians' Isaiah Hui sends it to Cole Warren, who drains a 3. And it's Hononegah ball again. Around the world passing here finds James Schomburg, he drains a 3 of his own. Sticking with the Indians, Hui throws it up for Cole Warren to tip it home. The court was tilted pretty early on. Darian Tholen off the inbound drops in another 3 for Hononegah. They went on an 11-point run to start the game, but don't count out the Bucks yet. Ryan Jensen gets it off the inbound, drives inside, and hits a teardrop. And some nifty passing by the Bucks sends the ball to Ryan's brother, Kyle Jensen, and he sends the 3 home. Antonio Villarreal has a chance to do something with it, makes a couple of moves, and he gets that one to fall. Hononegah beats Belvedere 52-42.
At Auburn, this was a big game for the Knights against Jefferson. Auburn was only 1 game behind Guilford coming in. Going to start out with the Jayhawks. Randy Johnson taking it up softly for the bucket. Auburn now, Amir Danforth passes the ball across court to Braden Torrance, who gets the easy lay-in. Benjamin Tyler and the Jayhawks going to take this fast break all the way, and love the finger roll finish. Knights possession, Brennan Horton-Lee shoots from behind the arc. I like those odds when he does that. Randy Johnson will dribble his way into the paint. Big fella going to get another soft one to go. Auburn come back with some quick passing. Adrian Agee hits a 3-pointer. And Auburn did beat Jefferson 60-48.
So here's how the Nick 10 standings look now after tonight's action. Guilford still leads with a 14-2 record. Auburn is next at 13-3. Boylan and East are tied for third at 12-4. And with 2 games remaining, Auburn still has a shot at overtaking Guilford. The best Boylan and East can hope for is a tie for first place.
Well, that does it for the highlights, but don't go away. Our Spotlight segment is next.
He's the young man at South Beloit who's turning heads all over Northern Illinois with his play. It's Ross Robertson. Now, it's rare to have so much talent at such a young age, but South Beloit's star-studded sophomore does. Ross Robertson is already making moves early in his SoBo career. The big man has even bigger things in store, and you're about to meet him. He's the center of this week's Overtime Spotlight segment.
I always say dream big.
The South Beloit SoBos have a lot going for them this season. And part of that is thanks to the big man in the middle.
It really causes teams to double. Gets a lot of open threes for really good shooters.
South Beloit has always had some size, but nothing comparable to what they have now in the post with sophomore Ross Robertson.
With his height, he can protect the rim defensively, but also handle the ball on offense. Kind of a rare combination to have, a guy that does both of those.
He's the kind of guy a coach dreams of, the ultimate team player.
He's scoring, rebounding, handling the ball, shoot free throws at the end, like you name it. He's kind of asked to be that guy for us, and he willingly accepts it because he's the kind of guy that wants to do what he needs to help the team win.
He's a whole 6'8", 205, and it doesn't stop there.
I've always been tall. My great-grandpa was 7'2", so I've always been tall, and my growth chart is it's linear, it's straight up.
He's always been the kid that's towered over the rest, but he's found his place on the basketball court.
I just find my love in basketball. I've had a basketball in my hand ever since I was little.
Since he was 4 years old.
I've been playing for about 12 years. Just when I was little, my brother also played in South Beloit, and I just love watching him play, and it just carried throughout my life.
His brother Riley played for the SoBos from 2013 to 2017. That's him right there, number 23. Fast forward 5 years later, and number 2 is a history maker here in South Beloit.
I mean, the sky's the limit for him.
It was a Friday night game against Schaumburg Christian when Ross carded his 1,000th career point. He's the youngest SoBo to ever reach that mark.
It feels really good. I want to keep going on and score more points, be the South Beloit's leading scorer, and just not let 1,000 points get in my way and just keep going. My biggest goal is to score 3,000 by my senior year.
Hey, as Ross always says, dream big.
He should be leaving here as the top point scorer in school history, top rebounder, top blocks. I mean, a lot of the major stats will have Ross Robertson at the top of them at the end of 4 years.
But maybe the thing that stands out above all else is the support this young SoBo has.
A lot of times in basketball, especially a point scored mark, it's an individual record, but you saw what the team meant to that record as well.
Even as he continues to soar to new heights, he'll never forget where it all started.
I love it. Just when I graduate, I'm always going to come back, support my community, give back. I really appreciate what my community does for me.
And just to give you more of an idea of how good he actually is, check out these numbers that this young man has put up already at South Beloit. Last season as a freshman, he averaged almost 16 points, more than 10 rebounds, and more than 3 blocked shots per game.
This season, he's averaging more than 22 points, 14 rebounds, and almost 3 block shots per game. And he could score a lot more if he wanted to, but he likes to make sure his teammates are involved in the offense.
All right, we're going to take one final timeout.
As we do, we remember one of the most talented girls players in Nick 10 history in our flashback segment.
It was the 2010-11 season, the senior season for Hononegah guard Bria Edwards. Edwards had played the previous 2 seasons at Borland. No matter what uniform she wore, she dominated the Nick 10. In this final season, she averaged more than 25.5 points per game to lead the conference. Edwards also added 12 rebounds and 4 assists per game, all while leading the Indians to a 16-0 conference record. Edwards also became the conference's all-time leading scorer that season, passing up former Belvedere standout Amanda Levens. Edwards finished her career with 2,120 points and 2 conference championships. She was clearly one of the all-time greats in Nick 10 history.
There's 1 week left in the regular season for the boys. Some of them will begin tournament play next Saturday.
And good luck to the girls' teams as they move into the postseason. Again, some teams going to take the court tomorrow for regional action. Others will hit the court Monday and Tuesday. And then we're not going anywhere. We're going to have it covered every night on the news. And we have 3 more weeks of overtime to go, so it should be fun. Join us again next Friday night at the same time on Fox 39. The show is also rebroadcast Saturdays at 11.
And remember, you can find highlights and scores anytime by going to mystateline.com. That will do it for this show.
Enjoy your weekend.